G'day, this is a notice to all Muslims who may want to come and live in Australia, and it's a really, you are advised to try and get here if you can. It's an ideal place for Muslims to live. Take no notice of the bad publicity that they're racist everywhere. And what the good thing about coming to Australia is, especially if you have two wives. If you have two wives, and look, it's alright to have two wives because they say it's okay for men to marry men, so it must be okay for a man to marry two women, or a man to marry a sheep for that matter, because it doesn't matter anymore. How you have your sex is entirely up to you. But if you're a Muslim and you want to come here, well, Allah takes care of everything. You don't have to work anymore, and actually it's very expensive to go to work. The government totally controls the way you work and everything about work. The cost of going to work is prohibitive to many people, so they remain unemployed out of, well, they can't afford actually to go to work. And the thing about it is, if you've got two wives, because most of the jobs these days go to women, so if you have two wives, and again you have a couple of children as well each, you can live very well in Australia as a Muslim, because then both of your women can go and work, maybe two jobs each, come home, clean, cook, look after the kids, clean up the mess and the house and everything like that. So as a bloke who sort of likes, most blokes like sitting around all day chewing the fat, talking about things, how the world is and how disappointed we are with all the world and stuff like that, while we're sitting around doing bugger all about it. But we whinge a lot. But women get along and they go and work, and they're industrious, they have to be, otherwise the world would collapse without them. And this is, we understand this. So if as a Muslim you're thinking of coming to Australia, try and get here, try and migrate here if you can. It's a great place to live, it's free. When they say free of life, free in a way that might not be as free as you think, but free in the way you can have everything free. Free house, free car, free money, and free everything. And especially if you're a Muslim, actually they care for you. You go to schools, the government pays millions and millions of dollars, so you can go to schools and learn all about Islam in Australia, and learn that it's a better system. You can learn that Islam is a better system than the Western system while you're here in Australia, enjoying the life the Western system provides. You can then be planning to bring it undone or undo it, whatever you like, and that's freedom. I'm not against Islam doing that, because that's your freedom of choice and freedom of speech and cultural relativity and diversion. Multiculturalism allows a Muslim to come here and plot to bring the Western system down. That's fine. I mean, that's the free choice. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing about multiculturalism. It allows this sort of variation and diversity, and it allows humans to evolve them by the arguments and debates they have between them about what that means. And look at all the jobs Muslims provide now for the security and the police and the government. Millions and millions of jobs provided, trying to just perv and spy on Muslims. And then what the Muslims get, it's great, because the more they there's a perception of threat of terrorism, which is just bullshit anyway, but the more grants the Muslims can get from the government. So it's a brilliant system. If you can, Muslims, if you can get to Australia, get here, because as you can see, brilliant place to live. You don't have to talk much to the locals. You hang around with your own lot in Auburn or wherever Islamic enclaves are, and that's the one that, you say you don't have to muck around with the people too much. They drink a lot, swear, and have the Western life is like that. There are people in the West who do drink, and they free sex and enjoy themselves in a way Muslims aren't allowed. That's part of the deal. I mean, but you deal with that, because as a Muslim you are allowed to live without having all those freedoms, and justified by a religion and some obedience to Allah and all that. We respect all of that. That's what freedom is all about. Mutual respect. Although some don't respect each other as much as they ought to, nonetheless, It works, basically, yes. We all have arguments between each other anyway. It's normal human beings. What humans do is argue. Anyway, even if they're all the same culture, they don't actually get on. So this thing about all cultures should get on, it's sort of nonsense, because you just get on in between each other. If we meets like, we get on. That's it, all there is to it, regardless of culture, colour, creed. It's irrelevant, isn't it? As long as we're polite to each other. When we're talking to each other, what we say about each other behind each other's backs, is nothing to do with anyone else. And that's it. So if you're a Muslim thinking of coming to Australia, try and get here. It's a wonderful place. Land of freedom it is. Totally free. You haven't got much free choice in certain things, but you know, you get the bums in government and all that, but you get that everywhere. You know, politicians being what they are, they're the same all over the world. Bunch of bludgers, scroungers, desperate people, despots. But you know, put up with them, who cares? Get on with your life. Anyway, I thought I'd just say welcome to Australia, all Muslims. Thank you.